Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It's already Friday. Thank you for joining me this morning. Before we begin, again, hit that like button, share so others can find us and get blessed by the Word of God, just as you and I are. And thank you once again for joining me. I'm going to call today's video The Joy of Humility, which comes from Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others. Many years ago, when I moved up to Northern California, a couple of brothers from my previous church came over to my house and helped me move. They carry the heavy moving boxes, the bed frames, and they loaded up to the U-Haul that we rented. And they didn't just wave goodbye, but they drove up to Northern California with me, and then they drove back. So grateful for them, Eric and Edward. They had things they needed to do, probably a whole list waiting for them when they got back, but they stayed, they remained, and they drove up with me. No one cheered. No one took photos for frontline newspaper headline. They just did it. They placed my need before theirs. Again, so grateful. We hear Paul's words today, and maybe they sound kind of soft, almost like a nice idea that wouldn't work in the real world. He says, do nothing out of selfish ambition. Sounds kind of ideal. But what about real life? What about the world that says, get ahead, win, protect yourself? Paul isn't saying you're supposed to disappear or stop caring about your life. He's telling you to look up. Pay attention to the people around you. Step out of your head and into their shoes. It's not because you're nothing. It's because you're secure enough in Jesus to not make everything about you. Humility doesn't mean ignoring the person that you are. It's about not being stuck on yourself. When you know how much you matter to God, and each of us do in Jesus, you don't have to chase praise or protect your spot. You're free to open your eyes and see others and lift them up. And Jesus is a prime example of this. He didn't hold tight to his throne. In fact, he gave it up. He didn't fight for his crown. He laid it down. He washed dirty feet and carried a cross that wasn't his. He chose to go low, to serve, to see. Paul says, not looking to your own interests. And again, he's not telling you to pretend you don't have needs. No, we all do. But he's telling you to hold them with open hands, ready to lift up someone else. That's not weakness. The world might see it as weakness, but Jesus says that's the real strength, the gospel strength. We see this in small acts people do without looking for attention. Maybe a woman who brings dinner to her grieving neighbor, or the young man who gives up his check to help a friend in need. There's no spotlight, but God sees. See, humility makes room for grace. Humility makes room for others. It pulls us out of the fight to be first and sets us down next to the ones around us. It says you matter. Your needs matter. And it trusts that God who sees in secret is enough. So my friends, don't be scared to be quiet. Don't be scared to go last. Don't be scared to hold the door open when everyone else rushes by. Because in this upside down kingdom, the way down is actually the way up. The low place is where real joy waits. Not in applause, not in awards, not in the front line, front page headline, but in small hidden choices that show the heart of Jesus. In fact, it was Jesus who said in Matthew chapter 23:11, the greatest among you, the greatest in my kingdom will be your servant. I know it's hard because everything in us want to be ahead and sit on that throne. But Jesus said the greatest in my kingdom is the one who serves the best. And he showed it to us. My friends, I hope that blessed you. And as we approach weekend and there's time when we gather with our community and worship, may you serve. And may God see us. May Jesus see us. And say, you are the greatest among my kingdom because of your servanthood and because of my servanthood. God bless you. If you haven't clicked that like button yet, please do so. Help others find us. And again, have an amazing worship this coming Lord's Day. And I'll see you on Monday.